Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition, and all that lane switching, this is what the game is.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Dalvin Cook. And that's not the start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We won! Come to Mike! Hurry! 54, right there. 54, Mike. Watch the pass!
Here's Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice.
At the 39-yard line.
Ready up.
54. Mike 54. Here we go. Let's bring it.
Hey, Echo.
Let's bring it.
Speed drift.
On 2nd and 12. Greer. He's got it complete to Perkins. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and pick it up in McCaffrey. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Mike's fighting up.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23.
Hey, watch the shot.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Blue draw Corker.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Shift. Watch the shift. Run. Okay.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Cook following the penalty. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nigel Bradham brings him down. Throwing on second and long. Mayfield. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down.
Right there.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go one more. Check.
Mayfield looks to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. A huge play there on the screen pass. 45 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Watch the whip. Pistol. Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Check.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off.
Hey, watch it. He's crazy. He's up. Greystone travel.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's third down.
On third down, Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. On second down, McCaffrey. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
Mike, 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, exit. Shoot.
Throwing on third down, Greer. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gray. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
That's good. Panthers, first down.
X3. 218. Chop.
The 28-yard line.
Check, check, check. Check 26. Check 26.
Get it.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 26-yard line.
Check back. Check back. Hatch it. Hatch
Now.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Steps away to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself. And that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. There he goes left side. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offense. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Lasley, 81 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing on second down. Greer. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. First down, Greer.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Here's Greer now on second down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Run. Hurry. He's coming in motion.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Mike, 54. All day, just like
Get it.
2nd and 10. Here's Greer again. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
At the 35-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Slam.
Ready.
They run again with Jackson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
And logo.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
5.
On 1st and 10, Greer. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Greer sets to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Hunter Henry, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Hey, Charlie.
From the 30 on second down, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Switch. Check 37. Check 37. Big ass, big ass, big ass.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Let's go, baby.
3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Check 59, Mike.
They run again on first down, Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Mayfield, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Go out. Speed grip.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on third down, Greer. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Greer on 2nd down. He finds his man Johnson. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
Greer now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He's got it complete to Perkins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 24. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Cook, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. 4th down, Mayfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. A handoff, McCaffrey running right, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Bob, Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On third down, this is Jackson, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
58's the mic.
X3, 218, hit it.
Here's McCaffrey. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Greer gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And Greer's going to throw it. That's complete, right around the 8. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Say, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Say, I got you.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he'll find Lashley there. It's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Check. 180.
59. Mike the 59.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
I can't believe they even let you play. Check 50. Check 50.
My turn.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Panthers.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will get him one closer. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.